Obviously, violence has been an issue in past elections in Nigeria, and some analysts have suggested that violence could occur this time around, although many have suggested that it won't. There have been some clashes now and again during the primary phase, and in some states, and some minor incidences at campaign rallies. Do you think that the existing measures that are in place now and some of the interventions that civil society are doing are going to be able to prevent any fear of violence or intimidation during the campaign and also in the post-election phase? And as you mentioned, since elections are a cycle, they're not just a one-day affair.
The history of electoral violence in Nigeria, particularly since 1999, has been there. It's never gone away. It's only in 1999 that there was no violence. It was more of intimidation and small skirmishes. But since 2003 election has become almost warlike, where you had more than 100 people dead, killed during the 2003 elections, 4 governorship assassinated. And in 2007, you saw it was quoted as a do or die affair. And that do or die affair led to a low level of insurgency, or just call it political insurgency, in some parts of the country. And still date, 2011 over 800, an estimated 800 persons dead, 65,000 internally displaced from the post-election violence that ravaged 12 states in the northern part of the country. Then in 2015, we were very happy that there was little or no violence. Still 51 people, according to the National Human Rights Commission, died pre-elections. At the CDD during the election, we counted over 41 people dead during the governorship elections. Now, this is very important to note. One, we are focusing on election to possibly happen during the national elections, which is the presidency and the National Assembly seats, House of Representatives and the Senate. But the threat of violence is actually larger. It looms larger during the subnational elections. Now, that's one factor. Now, the second fact is that the political party primaries that eroded the season of elections was too bloody, such that in some states, you find 5 deaths recorded. Now, most of these deaths are by newspaper reportage. Don't forget that many things happen on ground that we do not actually have figures of. Since the beginning of campaign also, you've had skirmishes, not even skirmishes, deaths, like 2 threats of bombing in several parts of the country. So elections here is always bloody. And the reason is it occurs largely as a result of impunity. So we tend to talk more in terms of electoral impunity. Until date, there is no record of anybody who has actually been sanctioned for involved in elections violence. Now, another part to also bring out is that from 2003 to 2007, and with what resuscitated in post-20, some of the off-cycle elections, have always shown the involvement of security agencies, a collusion between the security agents and politicians during elections. So in the 2003 elections, you have these pervading in places like the South and the Southeast. So if you read the the NDI report, it's so much there. In 2007, we saw them that they were the one actively snatching ballot boxes on behalf of a particular political party. And since the 2015 elections, where we had rerun elections in Rivers, the Rivers rerun, they were active participants in circumventing the will of the people. And after the last election, major elections conducted, because after the Osun rerun, or Osun, we call it Osun 2, also, the INEC has conducted like 4 other elections, by-elections in Bauchi, Kwara State, and I think another one in another state, like 3 states. But the Osun Rerun 2 has made it to loom right before our eyes, again, that the threat of collusion by political parties or politicians and the security is a threat that we may actually confront in the forthcoming elections. And this is very worrying for actors because you witness a lot of intimidation. You witness a lot intimidation of observers, intimidation of the press, and of course, intimidation of other political parties. So that's a looming threat that we are all very wary of and worried about.